I can't hear me now.
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear me now. Okay. We
like
gonna pause right quick for a second. You ready?
Yeah. Do yourself a favor and listen to me. Don't be surprised at different things that you just might see. But they call me D. I'm from the industry. I'm from streets that you know. And every time you want to see me, give me a hug at the store. And I would be real cool when the people want to see how different things happen in the city. With me, you can mess with me. How you want to be with me? Sit down and have a conversation with me. Clever is the way to be.
I meant my friends called me clever because they said I was gifted. I never thought it was better. Just always knew it was different. I couldn't hide in the crowd. Trust me, there's no doubt. See, I tried it a few times, but it didn't work out. Now I'm here when you know. Listen, I'm Tom Pagan. I'm chilling on this stage tonight with D. Leggett. It's the truth, and I got proof. And if you're goon, you could take a pudding, put it in the middle of the spoon. It's like...
Put the headphones on and take a listen. And everybody out here think money because you be dissing. Dissing who? And you be missing what I'm talking about. Every time you open up your mouth, everybody walking telling, listen to me and try to be with me and talk different things you be seeing up on TV. TV is the place where dreams are made. Girls are saying in different places and things people think is laid. And what I'm going to lay down, I'm telling you in the streets. And that's why I love this beat and people try to see. When I brush my teeth in the morning, thinking about the things I'm saying and mess around with this, and you talk about your slaying. What are you slaying? And what you're saying ain't true. You messing around with me, I'm gonna slay your whole crew. I'm talking about how I'm coming to, how I'm gonna work with you, how I'm gonna show you how the money is gonna be coming through. You talk about how you left out of school, how you left out the things about the tools that you use. The tools is dumb. What about if we go through war? Everybody gonna be talking about walking through that door. That door is gonna be closed if you don't have a knowledge. Everything you talk about me, I'm gonna be starting walking down Waters Avenue when we revitalize, talking about how we gonna do it. Everybody pushed out. Nobody's pushed out. Everybody packing up and getting out. We gonna be talking about you. Now it's time for you to get out.
Oh. That's right. Tell me where else you gonna get the Alderman spitting bars. I'm Ricky Willis. You might have seen me on TV. And now, I'm taking on the podcast world. Join me as we dive into stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. I believe everyone has a story we can learn from. Let's talk about yours. This is the Clever Conversations Podcast. What's going on, baby? It's your man, Clever. You already know Clever Conversations. And today, I have the absolute pleasure of being here today with the Alderman, Detric Leggett. What's up, baby?
Good, man. We good. How you doing?
Man, if I complain, D, I'm going to be lying because life's beautiful, baby.
Well, that's the way life's supposed to be.
Come on, man.
It's supposed to be like that. But see, sometimes you hear people have to understand that you are a testament to other people. Some people want to watch and see if you're going to fall.
Right.
But as long as you're doing something and you're continuing to grow or take a different step, then that's motivating people that's still on the ground level.
I love it, man. So listen, man. Introduce yourself to people who might not know you. We've been knowing each other for years. And I see what you're doing in the community. And listen, I applaud you, brother. I applaud you. And I don't hesitate to call you and tell you or text you and let you know that I rocks with you.
Definitely do.
So tell the people a little bit about who D. Leggett is.
Well, I'm Detric Leggett. I'm an alderman of the 2nd District. If you're not familiar with the 2nd District, it's from River Street to Victory Drive, Martin Luther King from the west, all the way across to Ash to the east. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a community activist. I might be one of the realest people that you know. I continue to try to be grounded with the neighborhood and the community as much as possible to see what the clarity of what true leadership is supposed to look like. So what most people say, well, I see you all the time on crime scenes. I see you all the time at funerals. Like today, I went to 2 funerals this morning because I don't want to be one of the people that show up at your house knocking on your door for your vote, and I can't show up when you need me the most. I work at Memorial Hospital. I've been there for 30 years. We have different initiatives that we do in the community. We're working along with CAD. I'm on different boards within the community, and I don't just want to be on a board. I want to be on something that's going to make sense in the long run. I'm on the Chatham Area Transit Board, and the highlight to that for me is I've created some space that young people, regardless of what school you go to, you'll be able to catch a bus. Instead of catching a school bus to go to a specialty school, You can go to, you can get on the bus as long as you have a school ID. You can get on the bus and go to another school.
So what that means is that I don't have to be held to this particular school.
Right.
So if my parents feel like the school that's 7 miles away is better academically for me, I can still go to that school, but I have to just make sure that I go through a process or a procedure that is put down.
You know, because say some kids go to specialty programs. They can go to their home school, but to get to the specialty programs, the parents have to provide transportation.
Okay.
So what I've seen in other cities by going to visit other cities, I've seen the partnership between the transit department and partnership between the schools that allow the young people to leave school at certain times and go to another facility. But that's the way of doing it, by using public transit. And what the investment we've made in public transit, we got security. We have cameras on the buses. We have Wi-Fi on the buses. And we have an app. It's a CAT app that you can use to know what time the bus is coming, where the bus is located in real time. And you'll never not know where your children is.
I love it. So for people that might not understand the difference between a mayor, or alderman, a councilman, a city commissioner, can you explain what the difference is in the alderman versus, let's just keep it simple, a mayor?
Well, the mayor is like the chairman of the board of the city.
Okay.
And you have so many people that represent the districts. We have 2 at-large, and the at-large 1 and the at-large 2 are the people that represent the entire city, like the mayor. Myself, I represent 27,000 people. And I'm proud to say I intimately represent 27,000 people.
You in the streets, like they know
Right.
you know you.
Right. So which means I put my phone number out there. Just like if somebody need to contact me right now, it's 912-346-8176, and I will answer the phone. So
hopefully you tell them we chopping it up, but still.
yeah, that's definitely right. That's right. But as an alderman, you have the responsibility to be at the call of the people. If somebody cannot reach city services, or they having an issue that they can't wait, they give you a call, and you are the voice for the people. Because I think people really need to understand that the people are at the top of the food chain. When you talk about city leadership, it's not the mayor, it's not the city manager, and it's not the alderman. It's the people first. So I want to continue to let people know that it comes from up high, but everybody in this community is my boss. So when you look at how leadership is set aside, you have 4 representatives in your district. You have the mayor, you have both aldermen at large, and you have your district alderman. So you have 4 people that you can get in contact with. But, I guess I'm doing a job that, I can pat myself on the back, because I knew down the line I needed to be a different type of alderman. I needed to be an alderman that was definitely going to come and sit down and eat collard greens at your table. Or I know how to sit at another table and be the person I need to be, and eloquently have a conversation with people about other people and bring folks together.
That's what it's about. It's about the togetherness.
Right.
So what made you want to get into politics? Like, it's politics. What made you want to get into politics and or be your position in the city and the community? What was it?
I didn't. I was comfortable with just doing public activism. I watched the community for so many years. I'm a barber. And we're doing a lot of activism, working with young people. I coach football. And the more I worked with the community, the more we got into how do we fix things, the political side started waking up. 2015, we started losing more and more young men to violent crimes. But we did not see the leadership of the city making different strides or different investments, or we didn't have anyone of our caliber to sit to the table and make decisions that's going to help the entire community. So we started moving different. I ran for office in 2015 and was unsuccessful because I did not know. So, the Bible said people perish from lack of knowledge. I had to learn how to be an alderman. I had to learn how do you move through the community and watch older people whose shoulders we stand on, people like James Holmes and people like Mickey Stevens and folks like that, Edna Jackson and some of our leadership, and Otis Johnson. So I sat around and I understood how they got where they are, how you navigate through the community, how you work with the neighborhood associations and make yourself available. And once I became a voice for the community, That run wasn't as hard as it was the first time. And I ran for office. We were successful again in 2018, 2019. We moved into a time when COVID just first came on. Yeah. I think it was the hardest 4 years that we had, but we made it look easy because even though we had so many different distractions, we found a way to make it happen in the city.
Man, so listen, again, I see you, and I know that you are intimately in the community. And I know this because no matter what is going on in the city, you're going to be there. Mm-hmm. People are always calling on you to be there for their support. I remember it was a situation that my daughter was having with some apartments. I called you. You didn't hesitate to say, give me the number. I'm going to call them. I called them. They're not calling me back, but I'm going to continue to call them. So I appreciate you. And I know that you are actively in these communities. And I just, so what what feeling does that give you to know that people know that they can call me and I'm going to be there? What kind of feeling is that? That got to be a cool feeling to know that people are pretty much giving you your flowers while you here.
That gives me some reassurances that I'm doing the right thing. You know, I'm not looking for the pat on the back. I'm just looking for a way of making you proud. Because we know each other. I want to be able to look at the teachers that I went to school with and say, you're not going to survive out here. I want to be able to see those folks when they come to surgery. I work in surgery also, but when they come to surgery and they're laying on the table and they look to the left and they see the young man that they wrote off, taking care of them. I want to be able to go to a school and encourage the young people, because I coach football over at Oglethorpe Charter School. Championship, may I ask?
Championship, he added it.
So,
you heard him.
So I want to be able to encourage them to be able to touch me. You know, to say, some of them are like, you an alderman? I'm like, yeah, I'm an alderman, but I'm your alderman. Right now I'm your football coach, but yeah, you know.
I'm tangible. Like, you could touch me. I'm here.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. Can you talk about any upcoming projects or anything that the city or your district is doing or getting ready to happen in the communities? Is anything coming up that you want to kind of advise or let people know about?
Well, people are they're upset right now because of the flooding all over the city.
Okay.
We got $10 million from the government that we're going to spend on 37th Street, but as of right now, we're doing a project where we're working with drainage, and they're putting larger pipes on Paulson Street, and they're starting at.
Oh, that's Paulson. It's horrible.
They're working from Henry Street in Paulson all the way down to the culvert where the Casey Canal attaches, and they're gonna put larger pipes there so the water can drain off faster. But what I need people to understand is the city of Savannah is like New Orleans. We sit at a place right now, if we get a large rain, somebody throw a cup of water out the window, we're going to flood. So while all of that's happening, if you think about it, 30 minutes after it stopped raining, the city is dry. But as long as it's raining and the water's coming in at high tide, it's going to overflow the cup. Right. And this is what we're getting right now. So we're making a large investment in drainage. What's coming, we did the hotel motel tax, and we're going to get a wave signage going around the city. We have the Tide to Town, so people will be able to ride around the city on bikes. As I told you before, we're working with CAT to make sure transportation is there. We made a lot of strides with allowing the DOT shuttle to move from downtown.
The what shuttle?
DOT shuttle.
DOT.
It's the DOT shuttle. It's a portion of CAT.
Okay.
And it's a free shuttle that take you from downtown all the way to Victory Drive.
Really?
In the corridor of Victory Drive of Whitaker and Drayton.
So that's the Whitaker Drayton.
Right. So it'll take you back and forth. So say you work downtown, you can't find parking, or you continuously get those tickets.
But I worked at the Hyatt for 11 years, and I got so many tickets.
Right. So if you was going to take the DOT shuttle, you could park at Forsyth Park or somewhere in the area, take the DOT shuttle, and when you get off work, the DOT shuttle is available for you to bring you back.
That's cool.
So we're working in with that also. That's actually happening right now.
That's cool.
So when our visitors come in town, we're doing so much to make sure that all of our people, the people first in the city, because we're going to say Savannah and Chatham first.
Yeah.
Because we enjoy our visitors, we enjoy the money that come in from tourism, but the people who live here first is on our forethought.
Right. So what efforts are being made, if any, in District 2 to handle forest housing, like forest housing and just the expense on that? Is anything going on in the city with that? Anything you could talk about? I know some things aren't.
No, I think they're upset with me because I talk about it all.
Let's
I
get it.
ran on transparency, and I want to make sure that people understand that people and developers that come into the district, that they're going to have a hard time, because I need to find out how much low-income housing are you going to provide the community, because you're displacing so many people out of the community to move them out. So how many people are when you buy the land, you tear down some housing that probably was there. People been had some low-income housing to put an apartment building up. I had this issue on East Broad and Gwinnett where they want to build a high-rise apartment building. They built a high-rise apartment building, but they wanted to dig in the ground and put some underground parking. At what cost? You know, every developer I talk to, I ask them the same thing. At what cost? So you're going to displace the majority of the elderly people who live in the community, and once they leave the community, where are they going to go? And then I say, and I talk to our neighborhood association presidents, and they want to know, where are we going to go? Okay, what's going to happen with the tax base? People are not asking the holistic question. They just want to say, oh, we're going to get a pretty big building over here, and it's going to look good. So what's going to happen historically? What's going to happen being that building is going to go there, and what's going to happen to the fact that it was a church there, an old 100-year-old church that was torn down. Nobody knew anything about it.
Right.
So now you want to build on some land that was historic in nature, in a community that's historic in nature, and they're not thinking about what's going to happen to digging in the ground. You're going to mess up piping, or you're going to mess up some walkways, or you're going to mess with the railroad track, because we have CSX there,
right?
And they come through. And to make a side note on that is, we made strides with CSX and the state of Georgia that we stopped the train from making noise within the community, because people still have to sleep. We work hard for quality of life, because if the train is coming at 6 o'clock in the morning and you just put a baby to sleep and the train come by, you ready to go outside and push the train off the track.
Knock it off.
But what we've done, we work with CSX, we work with all the rail companies, we work with the businesses, we work with the community.
Do they do it more like during the daytime?
Mm-mm. They got a set time. Anything after these set times, they blow the horn, it's a fine.
So they got a window that they can move.
A small window.
Okay.
And it has to be an emergency. So what we've done with that is we made investments that each crossing had to have an arm, a security device to make sure nobody ran across.
Which is definitely helpful, because some places, maybe Park Avenue, maybe if you go on Park Avenue from East Broad to Atlantic, if you're going that way, there in that section, there's no arms over there.
We got some now.
Yeah,
we got them now.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, so right now we've went from President Street all the way to 38th Street, and now we on the second phase is going from 38th Street all the way into the 5th District.
What percentage of your district would you say is low income? Because you got a huge district.
Mm-hmm.
What percentage of your district would you say or think is low income?
50%.
50%.
50%. And the reason I say 50% is because everybody, even the people that move here not rich, everybody has a challenge.
Right.
And we're looking at what the challenges for them look like.
Right.
I grew up in a neighborhood, but when we grew up in that neighborhood, we had people that lived there in different financial restraints.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
we could live on the same block, but the bank account stuff is different.
Right.
And that's part of because of the job stuff we different.
Right.
Which brings me to my next question. How much DL time you have for you? With all of that stuff, that's a lot of stuff.
I think what I've done is all of those things are my downtime. Alderman, that's my job. Working at the hospital, that's my job. But being out in the community, that's my downtime, because I don't think if I don't do what I do, a lot of other things might happen. If I don't create conversations or create space for people to be able to talk to me and be accessible, people will die. And I just want to be just real with you as possible. If I don't be able to have conversation with people who are actively part of gangs, people will die. If I create the space where somebody can come and talk to me at the church anonymously and say, man, I'm getting ready to go and do something real crazy because they did this to me, I said, well, let me go talk to the other side and let's try to mediate this behind the scenes. But everybody can't go talk to the police. You know, everybody don't feel as comfortable with, let me have a conversation, because the police and some of our officials have not been truthful with the community as of, let me give you an opportunity to come talk to me and let's work it out. No, they're trying to finish and close cases, but I'm trying to keep families together.
And the other part of that too is that not only are they not being truthful, but the people that's coming to talk to you, they talking to you because, yeah, I seen him at the gas station. Yeah, I seen him at the grocery store. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I seen him at my cousin's birthday party. Yeah, I seen him at this event. Yeah, he's been around. He's actually in the community. So it's not a situation where some people talk about being in the community. It's a situation where I am in the community. I'm here. You see me at these places.
But it comes twofold, Clever, because you look at it. I'm Alderman Detric Leggett. Then I'm Detric Leggett, but I'm Deke.
Facts.
You know, when me and you sat down and I still got the video. You and I was at the Avenue, and you were sitting down by yourself, and we was talking, and you just started rapping out of the blue. But that's what people want to see. People want to be able to know that, okay, I can go to this space, and I know that people that I know,
right,
they're not on quote unquote celebrity status. They are just there being
real people.
Normal,
real
you know.
People.
So that's what people really want to see. They want to know that, you know, you're not just looking for the glitz and glamour, or do you want to be in front of the lights? No, I'm carrying groceries out of the store for a lady because I love the fact that I can take care of my seniors.
I love the seniors.
You
bro.
know, you too.
Yeah.
I pull over behind somebody with the blue lights on them because I want to make sure the police is not violating their civil rights. You know,
older ladies at the bus stop when it's raining like crazy. Even my wife will, hey, can I give you a ride?
Yeah.
Respecting the elders.
Listen,
that's scripture.
And I definitely, when we get food from Cargill Yard and Feed the Hungry, or we get something from you guys, we blessing the community with it. I don't stockpile that stuff. Right. I want to go to the doors 9:00 at night. You need some chicken? You need anything? I mean, we got a whole trailer full of it.
We got you.
Can we give you something? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But you know, you think about it. The gospel song say it could have been me. Outdoors with no food. It could have been me. But if it is me, I'm hoping that I put an investment in place with other people's heart, that they will be able to feed me as I fed you. Feed me physically, feed me and nurture me, but emotionally be there for me and feed my heart and spirit so that I can give it to somebody else. God gave it to me. And I mean, he trusts me with it. So now when my phone rings, maybe I might have to leave my family and go do what I need to do, but I'm doing it because somebody's in a situation and they need somebody to stand in the gap for them.
When you brought up the scripture part of that, excuse me, it made me think of a song. Fred Hammond was in the group called Commissioned, and one of my favorite Commissioned songs is "Love Isn't Love Until You Give It Away." Mm-hmm. So before you give it away, it's just a word.
Yeah.
Love ain't love till you give it away. So giving away of your time, giving away of what of your emotional, your mental, giving away of all that, that's when you actually showing love. Because prior to that, it's just a word.
Let me give you a quick one. And we're not turning the show into a gospel show, but we're just trying to give y'all what we
can do what we
know.
Want to do right here. Clever Conversations. You want to turn the gospel show? Don't make me go put on a shirt and tie. Like that.
But this is what it is. I was thinking about it on my way here, and I was looking at on my rearview mirror, and I got backstage passes hanging on there, and it just came to me, and it was like, man, do you need a backstage pass to get to God? You know, you don't need a backstage pass because if you look at what Scripture tells us, that when Jesus was about to speak, the disciples came and said, Jesus, your mother and your brother is outside. And Jesus said, well, who are my mother and my brother? There's no respect to person. And that's how I feel. There's no respect to person. If you want to come and see me, you want to come and talk to me, come and talk to me. You don't need an appointment. I refuse to sit in City Hall and say I'm them. I'm so-and-so and so-and-so. No, I'm not. I'm Detric, Alderman Leggett, and Deke. When you need to see me as Deke, let's talk. When you need me to, come down a little bit and listen to you as Detric, okay, let's have a conversation. But if you need me to stand up for you, come to court. I do that. I go to court and I stand up for you, and if need be, against you if you're doing something that's going to take away the quality of life of the people that live in the community. I wrote over 1,000 letters for brothers in the community that want to change their lives and they need to try to get their lives and get expunged. So I'm writing letters to the parole board for people that I said, well, I will write you a letter as an advocate, but if you don't have a plan to come home, then you're just doing it to dumb yourself down. But I'm just letting folks know when we do write you those letters that we have the Savannah Impact Program that we invested in on Waters Avenue. We have the ONES program. But what Savannah Impact is for the brothers that's 17, 18 years old on up to 40 that need help. We have police officers. We have all services that can wrap around and help you. But for young people that like from 16, 14 on down to 5, they work holistically with the ONES. That's the Office for Neighborhood Engagement. And they work with the entire family to make sure that you're successful. And people ask me, well, where you get all this stuff from? I carry a scripture with me all the time. It's Romans 12. It says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. It said, don't be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That says 3 things to me. You giving of yourself for your community. You doing things that's outside of your character to make sure somebody else is comfortable. When you wake up in the morning, you don't wake up with the same mindset that you woke up with when you went to sleep. You got to leave a lot of that stuff in the past. But if you carry it into what your newness is tomorrow, then you're going to bring all that foolishness that you're working on yesterday into tomorrow. So you're not going to think you're doing something brand new, because you still thinking about yesterday. So those are scriptures that I'm working with. And this third thing is, my wholeness is a different walk for everybody else. And I look at it like, man, Deke going to church? Deke, you still out here? Deke, you still got that AR in the car? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
and I got the 9. We good.
And I got the vest. But I got all of that to support and protect you. That's not for me. I've already gave myself for everybody else. What the future look like, you are my future. Because if I can't get somebody to a better space, then I'm abandoning them.
Yeah. I like it. It's always a pleasure when I turn on social media and I look at IG or Facebook and I see you like, yo, I'm D, I'm here. We in Houston. I'm here. We in Vegas. I'm here. We in Texas. I'm here. We in Savannah. I love to see the movements because I know you. So I know that when you are in these places, 1, it's a reason. 2 is that something is getting done. It's so many people who you don't really know if they're really doing, you know what I mean? Like, you don't really know. And I say you don't really know as me being from the hood. The hood don't really know if you're doing this, but we see you out there all the time. I went to the city hall, and so I look up on the counter and I see you and Van and Alicia, and I'm just like, man, it's just a proud moment, man. It's just a proud moment, man, to see you guys doing everything you're doing. And so if somebody hadn't said it to you in a while, I appreciate you. We appreciate you. Because a lot of times people don't, it's about what you're doing for me, what you're doing for me, what you're doing for me, what you do. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. So I just want you to know that.
I appreciate you for allowing this platform to be born, because we don't get this from SAV, TOC. Yeah, they want to do a show 10 o'clock in the morning, but at 10 o'clock in the morning, they want to only talk to the everyday person that's quote unquote well-to-do. I want you to talk to the person that just random. Because sometimes when I was going through stuff in my life, the best conversation I ever got came from a crackhead. They call it quote unquote crackhead. I got some of the best knowledge I could ever think of. I got it from one of the undesirable people.
Right.
You know, the homeless folks, because they weren't always there.
Right.
They just happened to wind up in that space.
Right.
So I appreciate this platform, because this is what happens when you open a book.
What we decided is, me and my family, we wanted to have a platform where we open stories up from everyday people. Because if you think about it, most podcasts are based on politics, sports, or some celebrities type stuff. Well, we wanted to give everyday people the opportunity to tell their story, because you never know how we just had earlier, we had an entrepreneur on, single mother, and her story is going to help somebody. And you never know how that works, right? Because somebody that was listening is going through exactly what she went through. But then they can see how she handled theirs, and maybe they handled their situation different, or maybe they going through it right now and could handle it different. You know what? Maybe I might need to try this, whatever. So we just decided that we wanted to be able to give everyday people a voice, and we're grateful to have the opportunity to birth clever conversations, man.
But it's clever to have a conversation that not always scripted. You know, we want to have a conversation where it's not always comfortable.
Right.
You know, most people they are shunned away from most questions because of political affiliations.
Right.
You know, but you didn't get in office for your political affiliations or to get reelected next time. You got in there for the now, not for the future.
Right.
So what's happening right now is the clever conversation is, where are we with homelessness? What's happening with homelessness is we have.
That was my next question.
We have.
Did you see it?
No, man, we got so many different places throughout the city, and I just want people to understand that people who live roofless, they don't have any place to live. It's by choice. We have a lot of people who have children. We have people like the Parker's House, Family Promise. Shout out to
the Parker's House is a place that a family could go stay if they don't have their own residence.
They don't have their own residence.
And how do they get the information to be able to go there?
And we ask people to either reach out to the Homeless Authority, and they can give you a reference to go that way, or they can reach out to me 912-346-8176 after the podcast.
You heard them.
And then what we could be able to do is get you in touch with some individuals with the Homeless Shelter, Homeless Authority, again with Family Promise, and we can get you in touch with the people. But what I found out is a lot of people are dependent on drugs, or they're dependent on wanting to be free. They don't want to be locked down, because a lot of facilities ask you to be there before 7 in the afternoon, and you're there till 7 in the morning. And some people just would rather be outside, free to move around. But what they're doing is they're causing issues within the community for everybody else. So what we found out at CAT on their board is the homeless are taking over the bus stops, and the regular everyday person can't catch the bus, or we having issues on the bus because they've urinated on the bus stop, and people can't sit there. And now we're making more investments in creating new bus stops with Wi-Fi and lighting and everything, but we can't do that because we having issues with people who don't have a house.
You said the Parker's House, and what was the other one?
Family Promise.
Family Promise.
And the Homeless
Authority.
Authority.
Both do the same. They all do the same thing. They take families in that don't have a place to stay. Okay.
Right. And also, I'm working with a group, Yvonne's Loving Arms. They're for single mothers who they need childcare. They do they pay for childcare probably for 1 or 2 kids, but they're actually working right now also.
So they'll pay for childcare for a parent, like while a parent is at
Trying
work,
to find a job.
Right,
Okay. Right.
Not just, hey, can you watch my kids while I go to the park and chill out and goof? Okay.
Nah, because if you trying to find you can't find a job because you can't go get the job because you don't have childcare. Right. So we actually out here trying to work with everybody, churches. We're working with neighborhood groups. Anybody that's starting up a nonprofit, brand new starting stores, we partnering with them. So when they don't have, when they have a overflow of produce, we want to get rid of it. Then we got people we can give it to.
Communities.
Right. So we doing that. I've just had a conversation with Kroger leadership. So any our elderly within our district, if it's a storm or something come up, Kroger has worked with us, and we're going to make sure that all of our elderly have all the needs that they may want for the storm, prior to and after the storm. Kroger is definitely working with us on the east side. Linda Wilder Bryan is working with Kroger over in East Savannah. That we're going to have an open relationship that's going to be there even after we're gone, that's going to take care of the community.
I want you to make sure that you add the clever conversations to that, because we want to be able to help wherever we can help in the community. So if you're doing something, please add us to your list. Hey, Rick, we about to go down such and such. Hey, Rick, we want to be a part of bettering the community in whatever way we can. So that's what I need you to do. Make sure that anytime you get that phone call and you got to move, you let me know, because if we could be a part of it, if we could help, we definitely want to be a part of it. Man.
I mean, but we're trying to show leadership all the way around the board. Even while I'm coaching football, we get our kids prepared for the next level. Like I say, I'm a championship football coach over at Oglethorpe Charter School. And if you want to, y'all can look at 912 Suspense and see how, we making things happen. So, but definitely when our young men leave Oglethorpe Charter School, either they're going to have a scholarship going to a private school,
right,
or they're prepared mentally, educationally, and physically to go to the next level. Most people go to high schools, and high school coaches having issues with training kids. We have our kids prepared.
Ready. What's the saying when you already ready, you don't have to get ready?
You ain't got to get ready.
You ain't got to get ready. So let's talk about a little bit about your education. Let's talk about, tell a little bit about elementary, middle school, high school, college, whatever. Let's talk a little bit about that. Tell the people your journey to right now.
Man, so what happened, I grew up here, and both of my parents were both military, so we would transfer back and forth from here to New York. So
what part of New York?
Harlem.
Okay.
114 8th Avenue.
Okay.
So we was here, we grew up here, we went to Anderson Street School, Hubert Middle School, Savannah High School, Savannah Tech.
We're not gonna hold a Savannah High thing because you're still my man.
Listen, hey, ain't nothing like you got to be a blue jacket.
What's that?
Huh?
What's that?
That's Savannah High. That's our mascot. That's a blue jacket.
Oh.
Okay, so and if you look at city council, 80% of, I say 70% of the aldermen are blue jackets.
Really?
Yes.
How many Bulldogs?
Oh, and shout out to,
we need to fix this.
Shout out to Beach High Bulldog. Both of my sisters went to Beach High, and on the 21st, this weekend of September is their homecoming weekend. It's their alumni weekend.
That's the alumni weekend. Bulldog for life, 88. So I'm there.
Yeah, my sister graduated in 88.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Beach High. They wouldn't let me come over there, Mr. Mole and Mr. Wright. They're like, nah.
Yeah, no.
You gotta go back across the track.
You don't need to be over here. And it's crazy, right? Because I went to Beach.
Mm-hmm.
My sister went to Savannah High.
Mm-hmm.
And we stayed in the same house.
Yeah, that's the same thing happened with me.
We stayed in the same house.
Mm-hmm.
She just didn't want what I wanted from it.
Savannah High gave you a different focus as far as life. You go on the beach back in 1988, you had to be dressed. You had to be crisp. You had to be ready to go. You had to be on the sports team. Over at Savannah High, you can wear pajamas and come over there. Yeah. But, you had a different focus. You had more urban thinking teachers that were definitely going to give you a conversation in the classroom that you needed. You may have had girls that were in your class that were pregnant, but on campus, campus, we had a clinic. We had people there. we had. I can only tell you the truth.
Oh man, listen.
You know, they had girls that were pregnant in school during that time. But hey,
what I found in life after graduating is that it's a lot of Savannah High Bulldog combinations.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my wife, my sister and her husband.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a lot of talking to a lot of people. It's a lot of Bulldog, Blue Jacket combinations, like in relationships.
It's household rivalry.
Yeah,
it's a household rivalry.
Yeah.
Just like right now, you know, everybody knows that. You know, Savannah High is it.
What happened?
It's Savannah High is where it's at. It's
okay. So now, since we talking, let's talk.
Mm-hmm.
This is my problem with Savannah High students.
Well, it depends on which Savannah High.
There we go. That's where I'm going there right now.
500 Washington.
Nah, see, the problem is Savannah High students like to say, I ain't from that Savannah High. I'm from the other Savannah High. Wait. I'm from that beach.
Mm-hmm.
Not the other beach.
Because they didn't move.
What they did is they got bigger.
They did.
They even knocked the school down. Shout out, sorry for the school that had to be removed. They knocked the school down to make our school big. But they remove y'all whole school and end up changing the name. So it's hard for me to say from people when they say, I'm from Savannah High. And I said the one that's across, like on Pennsylvania. No, I'm not. Wait, because that's where Savannah High is.
But my heart is with the Savannah High.
So your heart is 500 Washington.
My heart is 500 Washington, but my heart is always going to be a Blue Jacket because I was the mascot.
Really?
I was the mascot, and myself, Jay Chris.
Yeah,
me, Jay Chris, and me and Jay Chris actually worked at Chuck E. Cheese. I was Chuck E. Cheese, and he was Munch.
That's funny.
We used to ride the city bus up and down Abercorn with the costumes on.
That's crazy.
You know, but I was the mascot at Savannah High for years.
Did you know Tim Lee?
Yeah.
Tim Lee wrote a book. He's a friend of mine. He wrote a book on Savannah High called 500 Washington.
I know Timothy.
Yeah.
We talk.
Yeah, Tim and Tiff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in the A. That's my man. We still good.
But listen, people have to understand that, you know, it's not where you from, it's where you at.
It's where you at.
It's just like that dash. Where you born, I'm born 1972.
Right.
You know, and I'm living in the dash. And whatever thing that I do in this dash, by the time I get to that end date, I want to make sure that everything that I've done within that dash did make sense.
Yeah.
I was a knucklehead, I'm not gonna lie. But throughout that process, I'm proud to say where I am now is not 100%, but at 89%, I am at a place now where people did not think that I would be.
It's a song that says, I am not where I am, but I'm so far from where I used to be.
Right.
Yeah. So we're grateful for that.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to people in the communities that wants to be more involved in anything that you got coming up or any big issues or any big concerns? Listen, people, y'all want this. This is what y'all should do.
You can get on the phone and call me, 912-346-8176 or 912-272-6300. That's my personal phone. This is the city phone, but my personal phone, that gives you an opportunity to call me at any time. I'll come to your front door. But if you need to, there's a website, or you can get on YouTube. You can get on Instagram, on Facebook. All of these network outlets, you can get on there. You can call me. I answer everything.
And so if I wanted to be more involved in the community, you would tell me what?
I would tell you to either give me a call, join your neighborhood association, make sure that you strengthen your neighborhood association. So people just need to understand that your activism start on your front porch. So you're going to make sure that whatever you do, it need to start in front of your own front door. And from your front door, it need to happen on your block. And from your block, it need to happen from block to block within your neighborhood, and create a different network so that your neighborhood association can be even stronger. So what I've done with the neighborhood associations is we found a way to make sure that they're all in that 501c3 entities. And if you are a 501c3 entity and you need help funding, give me a call. Also, I went to D.C. And wasn't just walking around DC. We went to a seminar, and the lady said, "Give me your email address." And I said, "Why?" She said, "There's $800 million of surplus money that the government has, and if you log into it, it's called Grant Finder. I will give you my access code, and I'll give you my password and username. You can get in there and get you some money. If you are a 501c3 entity, or you need to find a way to get some nonprofit money, give me a call, send me an email. It's Detric@gmail or dleggett@savannahga.gov, and I will give you that information, because if I can't be successful unless I'm making somebody else successful.
We got to win together.
Yes.
I like it. How do you manage to stay connected with your constituents, with your family? Because clearly you have a busy life.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, like, it's not a whole bunch of free, just frivolous time. So how do you manage that?
I live a we, us, and our campaign. I live it.
Okay.
We as a community, us as the people, and our opportunities. That's how I live. Because it's never I. It's we, us, and our. I can't do nothing by myself. I can never take credit for anything that we've done. And I'll definitely include everybody in everything that I do. So as long as everybody's a part of that conversation, there's nothing that shouldn't be out there.
I like that. With tourism being such a big industry in Savannah, how do we go about balancing the needs of the tourists versus the locals?
We think about the community first. I just had a conversation with city staff, and it was a very stern conversation, because I wanted them to know, even though we are a tourist-driven city, that we're not going to disrupt the quality of life. And the number one thing that people fail to think about is the short-term vacation rentals.
Airbnb type stuff?
Yes, they've taken over the entire communities downtown. There's certain streets where there's no residents live there, and there's only Airbnbs or just some vacation rentals. You might have one family that live on the entire street.
Wow.
But here's my issue. If there is no management, there's no rules. So if the person that owned that facility, that house that's being rented out, and they live in Boston, and there's an issue there, who do I talk to? So right now, what we're putting in place is rules and guidelines that will govern these Airbnbs and these short-term vacation rentals, because if you get 3 issues at this house, and we have to bring you before a magistrate, or we'll bring you before a court setting, then we could take that license away, because you have to yearly get a license to be an Airbnb. So what I definitely done is we've created a lockdown space. You can only have an Airbnb from the river to about Park Avenue. Okay. And then you can't go no southern more southern than that. Right. So we're trying to keep people in a certain area, but there are illegal Airbnbs. We're not against Airbnbs. We're not against vacation rentals, but in the places where they're not legal, in the places where they don't have licensed, people just go and rent out their houses.
See, I was just going to say, I didn't know that it was such. I thought I own a house. Mm-hmm. Somebody want an Airbnb, I Airbnb my house, and I go stay with my cousin for a week or 3 days. Mm-hmm. So that's not legal.
Not in certain areas of the second district. Okay. But what you can do, say there is a contract by a hospital that they want to have an extended 30-day lease with you, and you want to rent a property out for more than 30 days for a nursing contract, or a doctor that's only here for a certain amount of time, you can do that.
So like an executive rental.
Right, it's executive rental. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to create some structure around tourism. I have actually went and took the seminar and was certified in nightlife management, because if I'm going to be the alderman for downtown, I went to New York, and we took a whole class on how to manage nightlife and what does that look like. And
if you could manage nightlife in New York, you could definitely manage nightlife here.
Listen, and they have, what they've done in New York is amazing. So we're trying to work that here, and we're going to make sure that what's been happening in these clubs is not going to happen. We're in process of bringing people to have show cause hearings, and we're going to make sure that our tourists are safe. But before we take care of the tourists, we want to take care of the people that live here. And we want to make sure when we say stuff and we going to put guidelines in place that you're not going to be downtown roughhousing, shooting, and making it unsafe for people to be in this city. Running amok. But we're going to take you to jail. And I'm going to write a letter to the judge on behalf of the community and say, you have to go. And our district attorney or whomever it may be in the future going to have to stand behind what we're asking because it's the will of the people to be safe.
Right. So even talking about like that, the safety, excuse me, even talking about the safety and talking about the community and talking about the tourists, we are getting a lot of people coming in Savannah, a lot of celebrities coming in, not necessarily to live, but coming in to visit our communities. And we want to make sure that when they come visit, when they leave here and go to Atlanta or Detroit, wherever they go after this, we want them to have good stuff to say about our city too.
Listen, I had a conversation with Johnny Gill on last week. He said...
Wait. Johnny Gill?
Johnny Gill.
My, that's okay.
Yes, I had a conversation with Johnny Gill on last week. He said, I rode around this city. Nobody knew who I was. It felt comfortable to not have people to run up on you and make you feel uncomfortable. I talked with Anthony Hamilton. Same thing. He said,
wait. Charlie? Wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see me getting in there?
Yeah. I got a phone call from Ja Rule because his son goes to SCAD. Check on my son for me. I had that. Alicia Keys was here.
Wait. Where would I be without you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alicia Keys was here. She
I'm
has.
trying to think of my Alicia Keys song.
I keep on falling.
Oh yeah, I keep on falling.
I ain't gonna get that high note. We had the guys from 112. One of those guys bought it. Yeah, Slim and Mike. He bought a house here. They wanted to have something here to come to. You got so many celebrities. Amari Hardwick from Savannah.
Yeah,
born here. But he loves it here because it's a family type place. Even though he's a major celebrity, people don't crowd him,
right?
And stuff like that. We have that opportunity to be that city as long as we can manage it, as long as we can have it where people it's always going to be inviting, and we are a city that that's fair on both sides of the conversation.
I interviewed the mayor not too long ago, and I said, so what do you want people to know about Savannah? And he said, I want people to know that Savannah got their swag back.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you, Alderman, would be, what do you want people to know about Savannah?
It's an open door. It's up to you how you want to walk through it. If you want to walk through it as a resident, or you want to walk through it as a tourist. But the door is always open for you to come home.
Okay. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we got here. What is the hidden gem in District 2?
Oh man, it's more than one.
Okay, give me 4 or 5 of them, whatever.
You got River Street. You're always gonna have River Street.
Okay. You're
gonna have the beauty of it. You're gonna have the history of it.
You're gonna have the way it tears your cars up when you work down at the Hyatt for a long time. And you gotta. Okay, never mind. The suspension.
and then you call me and I'll give you the number to the guy that can get you your money back. And on last week, man, I one of the gems is, I had an opportunity to stand in and funeralize one of our NFL greats. Leroy Monk Harris played for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
And he also played for the Miami Dolphins. He still holds the record for the longest run from scrimmage.
Really?
Yes, and he was funeralized on last week. And so it made me feel good to know that the guy that I watched growing up right across the street from me was an NFL legend.
Wow.
All my life, and I always knew him as Uncle Leroy. But to see him in history, to be honored like that right there, that gave me a good opportunity to be able to stand there in my capacity and honor him in front of everybody and say, this guy. And I know his past came from the person before him, which is his mother, Lillian Harris. Awesome woman. She was the grandmother to all of us. So then you wonder how he became who he was, is because of how she trained us,
You want to know where somebody came from. You look at you want to know who somebody are, you look at where they came from.
Right.
In most cases, because a lot of cases, not every case, but most cases.
Yeah, and we honor our own, and that's another gem about our community, because you want to get some of the best food in Savannah, it's always start in the 2nd District, because it's just like having just like a meal that you want. Everybody got their own special meal, but for me, if I come home, I'm gonna definitely get me some collard greens. You gotta cook it right. You gotta have the right thing in it. You gotta want some either white rice or corn. You gotta have cornbread. You're gonna have to have
gotta be like grandma.
Yeah, you gotta have some Kool-Aid.
Red.
And you gotta know what.
I don't care what flavor it is, just gotta be red.
You know what I talked to somebody about the other day is, what thrill house you gonna go to? Who is your thrill lady?
Pause. The fact that you even said thrill, a lot of people don't have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a freeze cup.
I already know.
Most people didn't know that. So if you don't know your thrill lady.
A thrill is when you make the juices, you put a stick in it, you let it put in the freezer, let it freeze, and then take it out and take all the juices.
Yeah.
And there used to be a thrill lady. We used to go to the thrill lady, the candy lady house. So it's all one person and you can get thrills from
in your neighborhood. And every neighborhood has their own thrill lady or their candy lady.
Yeah, she be like, give me that, be $5.
That's it.
$4.
That's it. And
y'all got a thrill man?
Yeah. No, we got Leon. Mr. Icy. Okay.
It's called Thrill Town off Augusta Road with Sean.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't know.
Yeah.
Didn't know. They doing it new now. They got the whole storefront now. So
I mean, but it originated from the front porch.
From the front porch.
So when people fail to realize, when you used to ask, who do you vote for or what's going on in the community, you go to the Thrill House. You go to the barbershop.
Definitely the barbershop.
You go to the barbershop, you can shout out the Woods Barbershop. If you really want some good content, raw content, and it's not going to hurt your feelings, but it's going to give it to you the way that you really need to hear it.
Yeah.
And sometimes if I really need to be humbled, that's why I go sit down and talk to Tony Woods.
Okay.
I'll go over here at Rose and Sharon where all of our seniors are.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you.
I worked there for a while.
Yeah. You go to Rose and Sharon, you're going to be humbled.
Yeah.
If they tell you you're not doing a good job.
One thing about it, and this is not, like, I'm not singling anybody out, but old black women.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't play the radio with you.
I know it.
They don't care how you feel. Do not ask them a question
if you don't want the answer.
If you ain't ready for a real answer, because they'll give it to you.
Let me tell you, the first time I ever ran for office, I asked the lady, I said, would you vote for me? She said, why? I didn't know how to answer. Because it's a loaded question. She was ready for my next answer because I'm going to change how. Because when I get in there, I'm going to do how. What are your background? What's in your background to make you change?
I think, just especially with everything that's going on in politics today, I think that when I have conversations with people about, politics, I tell them some of the questions that I heard was like, well, how are he or she going to do this or that? I said, well, it's got to be a process, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be a process.
Yes.
And so what I have to do first, initially, for me to be here, I had to have the vision.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had to put the right people in place that was going to help me make this. They had to see my vision too. They saw my vision, and then that's where we're here. So I think a lot of times it's about one individual and or more having the vision, then putting the right people behind the team to help pass the vision through. So
I'll tell you one better than that. If I call you over to my house and say, Clever, man, I'm got a couple guys coming over and I'm making low country ball. You gonna say, what you need me to bring?
What you need me to bring?
Nah, you bring you. That's the first part of it. I know that.
That's not
I know you. You coming, you gonna bring something.
I'm gonna bring something.
So when I'm bringing a low country ball, I know that I need certain ingredients to go into the low country ball. But before I put the crabs and everything in there, I'm putting the seasoning in there. I'm preparing the water. And then while I'm putting the seasoning in there, and I'm throwing a couple of other things, a couple of secret things. Everybody in their family do it different.
Right.
Some people putting eggs in there. Some people putting, they're throwing that in there. They putting some Old Bay seasoning and they're doing it right. Then they put the crabs in there. Some more people come over. Some folks got something their favorite drink and they having a conversation. But while you having a conversation, you're adding more and more to the pot. But the aroma of what's coming out of the pot, bringing more people closer to the pot. But normally you have people that are having little country boils during the winter, but the warmth from that pot is bringing you closer and closer to that pot. But you adding the ingredients to it. You got the shrimp. You got the crabs. You got whatever else you want to put in there. But the one thing that people forget that's in there is that neck bone. You throw a neck bone in the bottom of there, and the neck bone sit there at the bottom of that pot, and it absorb all of those seasonings all the time while you taking everything out and over, you keep putting crabs in there, you put it on the table, everybody's eating. But the one person that in that entire crowd forget that it's a neck bone in there, and they go get the neck bone, and that neck bone has been absorbing all of that seasoning for the entire time. And then the one thing that you forgot about is the most important part, and you enjoying that one thing that sat there the longest and absorbed so much,
all of it,
for all that time.
Yeah.
So
we use smoke neck bones.
Yeah, you just smoke. Yeah, but when you get that smoked neck bone, you know what I'm saying?
No,
you don't throw that on the table.
Big boy. I already know.
You don't throw that on the table first.
Man,
that's
big
under
boy.
the pot. That's under the rack.
Yeah, man. If you, how long is your term? When is it?
We have 3 terms of 4 years.
Okay.
So you can run 3 times. So we just passed the ordinance that we have term limits.
Okay.
But if I wanted to, I can run 3 terms as the alderman of District 2, or I can run at large, or I can run for the mayor seat.
What is one of the things that you like to leave accomplished on your term? On your term that you left, like let's say you decide this stretch is the last stretch, you want to go do something different.
Mm-hmm.
What is the one thing that you want to leave, the legacy you want to leave as alderman, before you leave?
Man, I will make sure that I left it better than it is, but I got it. You know,
that's strong right there.
When I took the helm as the alderman, we had the
How
highest.
many years ago?
That was 6 years now.
Okay.
We had the highest crime in the city. Right now, we have the lowest crime in the city. We are the safest place in the city per capita. With over 27,000 voters, we still are the safest in the city. Every time you look on TV, it's because people are having issues over here, people are having issues over there. It's because their older person is not going to stand in the face of these people, or they don't have a relationship with the gangs or the young people that they can have that conversation, say, hey, slow down.
Right. Which you have personal relationship with these people. Like these people, they could come to you. Like you might know some of the leaders of the
right.
And so that makes it easy for you to say, listen, man, calm down. Y'all need to stop. Don't. And so that would be probably a part of the reason is because you are, once again, not to kind of just keep saying the same thing, but you're out in the community. You are here. So these people know you. You know these people. So it makes it easier for them to listen. And they probably respect you more because they know you.
You know how it feels to go to a funeral and you're mourning and you see somebody that you don't expect to see? That's me. Or if you wake up from surgery and you see a face that you don't expect to see? That's me. You know? Or if you on the side of the road and the police are harassing you, and I pull up in my truck and I get out, I'm standing over here because I want to make sure that your rights are not being violated. I don't care who you are. If I see those blue lights going, everything all right on both sides of the conversation, you all right, officer? You all right over there? Something I can do? You know, and I'll make a call to the chief. You know, I have a situation over here. I'm not sure. I just want to make sure that either the young man, young lady make it home. Okay? And then that keeps everybody true to whatever's going on. Because you never know.
Accountable.
You never know.
Excuse me.
Because if you look on my Facebook page, I put a picture up as a cartoon of myself and it says, always ready to work.
I saw it. Always ready to work. I saw it.
Because you never know where you're going to see me at. You know, and I have a bad habit of, if I'm someplace and people eating, I walk around with the trash can. I was built like that. That's the way my mother always taught us. You know, don't ask for something, go do something.
Yeah.
You know, because you never know. You never know. Somebody might be looking at you. I hate just like even in City Hall when we eat lunch, I hate for staff to have to wait. I would rather them eat before me.
Right.
Because I don't want you to ever put me on a pedestal. I hate to be on, don't look up at me. You never saw Jesus on a pedestal.
Right.
Jesus never preached. Only time he preached on the mount probably once. And he had to feed a multitude of people. That's the only time. Other than that, Jesus sat amongst the people, had conversations.
Right.
You know? But he told people, don't put me out there. Don't tell too many people what I'm doing because I have yet to get where I need to be.
And I'm not doing it for the flex. I'm not
Right.
doing it for the ground.
Right.
I'm doing it because I want to do it.
Right.
I need to do this.
Right.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna throw a couple of questions at you. I'm gonna throw a couple of words, and I want you to say first thing come to your mind. You ready?
Yep.
Tupac,
Great.
Biggie,
Great.
MC Light,
Awesome. Beautiful. Extraordinary. Lyricist. Linguist.
Queen Latifah,
Queen. Grace.
Kanye,
Lost.
Jigga,
Imagine. And the reason I say imagine where he came from, where he is now.
Right. He had to have some kind of foresight. Yeah. Diddy,
Misunderstood.
open for a mistrial.
Yeah. YSL,
Woody,
entertaining.
man. Kamala Harris,
She is real. Real. To have a conversation with her in this type of space, she's
I
real.
would love.
When she said, my favorite word is mother.
In this
Yeah, she said, hey,
guy,
this guy.
hey, my favorite thing was when she took it back to your old school days. Say it to my face.
Say it to my
I
face.
was like, yeah, I like that. So tell the people how they can reach you if they wanted to reach you.
Again, they can call me anytime on my phone, 912-346-8176, or you can email me either Detric@gmail or dleggett@savannahga.gov. You can get me on all social media sites. I'm definitely always out. If not, you can catch me on Waters Avenue. You can catch me riding by in my truck. If not, 622 37th Street. I'm at the church inside my office watching YouTube.
All right, so we like to say thank you to everybody that comes to be a part of, that gives of their time.
Mm-hmm.
So we like to offer a little token of our appreciation to you. So check it out. Tell us what you think.
Thank you for having a clever conversation with me. Oh, this is nice.
I'll be clever.
This is nice. Oh, okay. Okay. Now, see, I'm going to have to give him some swag. I'm going to bring you some swag back. Hey, the Clever Conversation Podcast, and they got my name on it, and he spelled it right. You know, see, when you got your friends and they spelled your name right, they got all kind of stuff. They got a real straw in here. So, you know, I think the nastiest thing I saw, man, somebody was trying to get the plaque out of their teeth with the straw wheels and stuff. I was like, hey, I ain't getting out of here.
Yeah.
This is nice, man. Man, I'm going to have to bring one of my shirts around here and put it up in here. You know what you need? You know what you need? You need one of the whiteboards so everybody that come in can sign the board.
I got one better than that. You'll see when we leave.
Okay. Oh, this what's up. Y'all see, I had a clever conversation. Boom. Y'all know how to follow him. I'm going to be on there. So if I don't see you on Clever Conversations when the podcast is live and we out there, I'm telling you, y'all better come on because y'all better get it together.
Listen,
I appreciate this, man.
We like to thank you for taking your time coming out and spending some time here with Clever Conversation team. And as usual, we want to end every podcast by saying 2 fingers One love.
This is what we do. You better bring your whole doggone crew, because when we get finished, we ain't ever gonna be through.
You heard what he said.